Will I be able to secure a payout in this video? Stick till the end and you will find out. To give you guys some context in case you haven't watched the video from last week, in last week's video, I documented how I passed the phase 2 of my 200k prop firm challenge, basically the trades I took to pass the challenge, and then I started documenting live my progress on the funded account. Basically the trades I've taken so far on the live funded account. If you've seen that video, you know that we are currently in drawdown, and my goal this week is to get the account back in profit and hopefully secure a payout. Okay, to show you guys real quick, right here on the dashboard, okay, we can see, let's refresh. This right here is the 200k funded account. Phase 1 was passed, documented that in the video that dropped on my birthday on the 29th of March. Phase 2 was passed as well, documented that in the video from last week. And I've also documented, like I said, the live progress on the 200k funded. If we click on it, we can see that we only have 2 trades. Let me refresh it once again for full transparency. And we can scroll, we can see that we are at -1%. And these are the 2 trades we took. A sell on gold and a buy on GJ. Both of them were losses, but it is all good. It is part of the game, like I said. Hopefully this week the markets will move better and I'll be able to get the account back in profit. That is the goal. And regarding the plan, it is very simple. On my next trade, if it looks very good, I might risk 1% instead of 0.5%. Why? I've already explained it in the previous video, but let me tell you once again in case you haven't seen that one. The reason I might risk 1% is because based on the probabilities, knowing that I had 2 losses in a row, the next trade is more likely to be a winner, okay? But I will make sure to keep you guys updated on that. And yeah, now that you know what's up, I'm really looking forward to see how this week will go. I will start looking for setups in around 3 hours from now, to be more exact. So yeah, see you guys soon. New York Stock Exchange just opened and I did my first analysis for today on my day trading pairs. So yeah, let me show you what I currently have on radar. Currently I have USD CHF and US 30 on radar. Before that, let me quickly hop onto the dashboard to show you guys that I haven't placed any new trades. We can go on the 2-step funded. And come on, we can see that we are at -1%. These are the only 2 trades. Just want to be fully transparent. And now we go on the charts and I'm gonna start off with USD CHF. Over here, we have this valid high, this valid low. These are the liquidity levels. And we can see that the lower one was taken out. And we also have a beautiful H1 sweep. Why is that? Because we have this H1 candle that went below this low and failed to close below it. It closed back in the range. Okay, so that for me is a very good confluence. And now on the 5-minute, okay, I am waiting on an aggressive market structure shift. Okay, very important to note is that we have high impact news. We have the PMIs dropping in 22 minutes. I will not look to enter anything 10 minutes before the PMIs and 5 minutes afterwards. Okay, that's a very important rule for me. Next up, we have US 30. So on US 30, check this out, guys. This is the valid high that was taken out, the upper liquidity level. And now price entered an H1 plus H4 fair value gap. Okay, so that's a really good confluence. Now on the 5-minute, I am waiting on that aggressive shift in order for us to then have a potential A plus. That's what I'm waiting for. So yeah, let's continue. Next up, we have GJ. We can see that GJ is in between these 2 liquidity levels. Gold is in between these 2. Now I know that many of you might ask why I didn't take this one. Yes, it would have been a valid level, but it already gave a setup here. Okay, it already gave a wick shift, entry on this small VVG. That's something that I wouldn't have taken. Okay, and anyways, it was before the stock exchange, so I wouldn't take it anyways. And that's why I then looked left and I identified this as my new valid high, as my new upper liquidity level. Next up, we have NASDAQ. NASDAQ is also in between, valid high, valid low. Price is currently in between the 2. GBP USD also in between liquidity levels. Reason I didn't take this one is because price closed above it and there is no hard time frame confluences. Okay, and lastly we have euro dollar, and euro dollar is again in between these 2 liquidity levels. So yeah, For now, I'm gonna focus on US 30, all right? And also on USHEF. USHEF is pretty close to give us an A+. Of course, it really depends if the bullish volume will kick in the markets and push the price higher. If it does, then we might have a setup, but I need to be very careful because like I said, I do not enter 10 minutes before the PMIs or 5 minutes afterwards. And before I end this short update, let me show you real quick that the account is at -1%. Let me click the settings. Here we go. This is the real funded account. So yeah, that's that for now. All right, so we are approaching the end of today's trading session. 15 minutes left until 7 p.m. my time, 5 p.m. UK time, when I stop looking for setups, and I've entered an A+ setup on US 30. Okay, let me show you guys the MetaTrader. Currently floating in some drawdown, risked 1% on this setup because it was a good looking A+. Let me show you what I mean. So on the 1 hour, okay, we swept this liquidity level over here, this high. Let me quickly adjust it. And we can see that we have a beautiful H1 sweep. Okay, we can see we have a beautiful H1 sweep. And on the 5 minute, we had a impulsive shift as well over here. Okay, we can see it right here. Good looking FVG. Of course, I would have preferred it to be bigger. Right now, we're running in some drawdown, not looking great, but we'll see. We'll see. Like I said, it was a really good looking setup. Nothing to complain about. Had an aggressive shift, good volume, but now for some reason, it's just charging against us, but we'll see how it goes. On NASDAQ, pretty similar to US 30. It gave a shift here, but as we can see, it is a weak shift. Therefore, there is no entry. NASDAQ was looking pretty good as well. So we entered this 4 hour plus 1 hour fair value gap, took out this liquidity level, but once again, the shift was a weak one, no fair value gap, even though we broke fully below this low. If there's no FVG, there is no trade, okay? Next up on GJ, we took out this liquidity level over here and entered this huge fair value gap visible on the 1 hour as well as the 4 hour. And now on the 5 minute, I am waiting for an aggressive market structure shift. Okay, that's what I'm waiting for. But of course, I don't think we'll have a setup over here. I think US 30 will be the only setup for today. And next up, not much to discuss. USHEF in between these two liquidity levels, same as gold, that has put in a new valid high over here. Same as GBP USD, same as Euro USD. So for today, the only setup was this one on US 30. Okay, that currently is running in some drawdown, but like I said, job is done now. It was a valid A+ setup. I really liked the way it shifted the structure right here with some bearish momentum. Now, all that's left is for me to let it play out and see how it goes. If it's going to be a loss, we'll be at -2%, so it's really not a big deal. And then on the next trade, if this will be a loss, I will continue to risk 1%. Okay, that's going to be the plan. But yeah, that was pretty much it for today, the first day of the second part of the second week. Yeah, let's hope the markets will move good this week. And yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. All right, it's Tuesday now, 25 minutes until the New York Stock Exchange will open. And I thought to give you all an update on what I currently see. Reason I'm doing this update a bit earlier than yesterday is because today is Tuesday and this is the day where I stream the entire trading session. And because of that, I won't be able to give you guys an update, okay? Before that, let's hop on to the trader skill dashboard real quick to show you that I haven't placed any other trades. We are at -2% right now. We took 3 trades in total. We can see almost at -2%. These are the 3 trades. Yes, we have 4 here because I risked 1%. Okay, I entered the same lots twice in order for me to risk 1% on this US 30 sell that we took yesterday. So yeah, there you go, guys. Now we can go back on the charts and let me show you what I currently see. Right now, the price is in between the liquidity levels, but I know that when the stock exchange will open, some volumes will kick in the market and that might change the way things look. Okay, so right now, US 30 is in between these 2 liquidity levels, very high, very low. Reason I took this one and not this one is because price fully closed below this one and there is no higher time frame confluences. Okay, next up, Same with UChef, okay, very high, very low, very high, price is literally in between. So on these pairs, we just need to wait for either one of these two liquidity levels to get taken out. And like I said, most likely after the stock exchange will open, we'll see some volume kicking in the markets, and that could help us see a liquidation, okay? On GBP/USD, we can see we have this very impulsive push towards the upside. I am waiting on this liquidity level right here, on this very high. Maybe we could have something there because it's pretty close to it. On EU, price is in between these two liquidity levels, the most recent very high and the very low. And lastly, we have gold. Gold put in a very low right here, and then it just moved higher and higher without putting in a very high. And if I look left, okay, let me show you guys. It took out this very high over here, but it already closed above it, okay? And there is no other higher time frame confluences. Because of that, I looked left, and I noticed that the next very high is all the way up here. So to be honest, today on gold, I don't really think we'll have much going on unless price puts in a new very high over here and then we liquidate that, okay? But that could happen in the final hour of today's trading session. All right, so just got off the stream, just ended it. If you guys were on the stream, I hope you enjoyed it. Today is the 6th of May, it's Tuesday, and we had one setup today, okay? I'm currently in this EUR/USD A+ setup. Let me show you guys the MetaTrader. As we can see, currently floating $700 in profits. As we can see, it's the real funded 200K account. And now, why did I take this setup? Okay, let me show you. It's 7 p.m. my time. I'm basically done for the day. This was the only setup for today. Why did I take it? Real quick, we go on the 1 hour and we can see that we have a beautiful H1 sweep right here. We liquidated this very high here. We failed to close above it. That gives us a beautiful H1 sweep, which is a very important higher time frame confluence. Because of that, I then went on the 5-minute and I waited for an aggressive shift, okay? We had a liquidity sweep over here as well on the 5-minute. And then we had the shift right here. We had two BOSs on this first low and then on the second one as well. Good looking PVG, entry was right on the PVG right here, and now the trade is currently running, okay? The break-even level is around, where is it? It's around there, so let me quickly mark it as well. Let me quickly place an alert on the break-even level. Around there, of course, I might move it a bit sooner. It depends on the price action as well. And yeah, now the trade is running in a small profit, I would say. But this was the only trade of today. Was a beautiful A+ setup, nothing to complain about. Now it's up to the markets to show me if it's going to be a winner or a loser, okay? Next up, I want to talk about NASDAQ and US 30 as well. On NASDAQ, we can see, okay, that we had a beautiful H1 sweep over here. That was the first thing because we didn't close below this low. We just wicked below it. Let me zoom in so you guys can see. There we go. And we also entered an H1 plus H4 plus daily PVG. So very good higher time frame confluences. And on the 5-minute, we can see that we had a very beautiful and aggressive shift as well over here. Okay, we can see it very clearly, but we had 4 PVGs in a row. This shows me that the move already happened without us, and that's why I had no setup over here. Same story on US 30. Okay, on US 30, check this out, guys. We liquidated this low. We entered this H1 unmitigated demand, looking very good. This was low of the demand. And if we go on the 5-minute, we had a beautiful shift as well. Okay, we had all of these levels being liquidated, all of these early buyers getting stopped out. And then the price moved very impulsively towards the upside, but it just continued to move higher. Okay, putting all these PVGs behind. It had a 5th one as well right here. Okay, that just got mitigated. So yeah, this showed me that the move has already happened. Okay, that's why I had no setups over here. And then if we go over GJ, we can see that price stayed in between the liquidity levels. Same story with UChef, same story with GU, and same story with gold. Okay, so the only valid setup for today was on EUR/USD. And check this out, we smashed the first target live here. I need to update it in my group right after this, right after I end this update with you guys. Once again, let me show you that it is floating in profits. Floating in some nice profits now, 1.6K to be more exact. But yeah, let's see. Hopefully it will be very nice if this trade will be a winner. Okay, that's what I'm hoping for. Tomorrow, guys, I won't trade. Okay, tomorrow I won't trade. It's Wednesday, the 7th of May, and we have the FOMC press conference. That's why I will not trade. And because of that, I will get back to you guys on Thursday. Okay, what's popping, people? I'm back on the charts. It is Thursday now, the third trading day of this week, because yesterday I didn't trade at all because of the FOMC. And now that I'm back on the charts, let me tell you guys how it went with the trade we entered on Tuesday. To do that, let's enter the trader scale dashboard. Let's refresh, okay? And then let's enter the two-step funded, the 200K real account. And check this out, guys. Unfortunately, the euro dollar trade ended up to be a break even. It is what it is, nothing to do about it. I'm glad that I moved my break even. Basically, I moved it at around 1.2 R in profit. Because after that, price reversed at break even and then it went straight to the upside. The reason I moved it to break even is because it went in some decent profit, and also it was past 7 p.m. and I know that usually after the lunch hour the volatility isn't as great. So unfortunately we are still at -2%, as you guys saw here, but it is all good. Once again, all the trades we took were valid A+ setups, and we need only one single win to get the account back at break even. Okay, that's all we need. And now I want to show you guys what I currently have on radar, because the markets seem to be pretty volatile today, which is good because that means that we might have some A+ setups. First things first, we have US 30. Okay, on US 30, very simple price action, valid low, valid high. Price took out this liquidity level over here. We have a beautiful H1 sweep because this H1 candle didn't close below this low, and in addition, we also have the price that entered this H1 and H4 fair value gap. Okay, so that right there is a very good confluence. And now on the 5-minute, okay, I'm waiting for an aggressive shift. Theoretically, we already have a shift here, okay? This is already a shift, but it is a weak one, okay? This is a weak shift. There's no full body closure, no fair value gap, so that's why I am still waiting. And apart from that, GJ is also looking pretty interesting. Okay, so check this out, guys. On the 1 hour, valid low, this is the lower liquidity level, and the upper one is this valid high right here that was swept. Okay, and we can see that we entered this H1 fair value gap and also an H4 supply. Okay, this H4 supply right here, this is a very, very good confluence. And now I am waiting for an aggressive shift. Okay, I'm waiting for an aggressive shift towards the downside. If I get that, happy days, we might have a A+ setup. All right. Apart from that, euro dollar is in between these two liquidity levels. Very clear price action. I'm happy that the price action is pretty clear today. And check this out. Okay, check this out. We have NASDAQ that just took out the low. Let's see if we have some higher time frame confluences as well. Yes, we do. We have this 4-hour fair value gap. Let's note it right here, H4 PVG. Let's check the daily. Nope, nothing on the daily, but this is more than enough. And it could also be a beautiful H1 sweep. Okay, if we look closely, we can see that this candle might close above the high. Regardless, we could still have an A+ potential here. Okay, depending on, of course, the market structure shift. All right, so I will keep an eye on NASDAQ as well. Moving forward, USD CHF in between these two liquidity levels, same as GU approaching the upper one, and gold is pretty much in the middle of nowhere right now. So to be honest, on gold, I doubt we'll have something today. But yeah, for now, I'll keep my eyes on these three. Like I said, volatility is looking good. Over here on NASDAQ, we can see that we liquidated this low on the 5-minute as well, which is good because it's like a pit stop, as you guys already know. You know my analogy. So let's quickly note this as well. And yeah, NASDAQ, GJ, and US 30. This is what I currently have on radar. This trading day is over and I took no trades today, although I had a potential. But before going over the pairs, let me show you the dashboard once again to confirm that I took no setups today. This is the funded account, and as we can see, still at -2%, still the exact same trades. Okay, now let's go back on the charts. Right here on US 30, I had a potential setup, but I decided to not take it, and it was the right decision because it would have been a loser. Okay, so on the 1 hour here, we already know the confluences, H1 plus H4 VVG. And then on the 5-minute, ignore the beautiful H1 sweep because it wasn't a beautiful H1 sweep anymore. Let me quickly delete it as well. right here on the 5-minute, okay, we can see that we had this impulsive market structure shift right here, okay? 2 VBGs being left behind as well. Entry would have been on this fair value gap, stop loss below this low. As we can see, we would have been stopped out, and the TP would have been at 2RR. For this exact reason, I didn't take the trade, okay? Because the TP was way past the opposite liquidity level, all right? And that's how I was able to avoid this loss. This low was liquidated, and then price just went ballistic to the upside with no breaks, okay? So this was it on US 30. Moving forward on NASDAQ, same exact story happened, but on NASDAQ, I didn't have a setup, okay, prior to this move. On NASDAQ, these lows were liquidated, and then eventually price moved higher, broke structure here, aggressive MSS, but as we can see, it just went to the upside without looking back, leaving too many VBGs behind, okay? On the 1 hour, we can see that we had this as our confluence, this H1 fair value gap. But like I said, price just went to the upside without any pullbacks. Next up, we have GJ. So GJ was looking pretty good, especially when it comes to the higher time frames. It was at an H1 plus H4 supply, H1 VBG plus H4 supply. You guys already know that. And on the 5-minute, I waited and waited and waited for the shift, and it never came. Okay, we can see that price went towards the downside here. I said that I will not consider this as a shift. I waited for the shift right here, and it was the right decision. And we can see that from here, price is reversed and liquidated all of these highs. Okay, so no aggressive shift on GJ, therefore I had no potential setup. On euro dollar, we can see that price gave a beautiful H1 sweep right at the end of the trading session. And to be honest, the structure on the 5-minute was pretty awful, so there was nothing to look into over here. And on USHEF, we can see that we liquidated this high here beautifully, and we entered this H1 supply, but as we can see, price already went higher, okay? But anyways, there was nothing on the 5-minute, no bearish structure that I could possibly take. Therefore, we had no setup. So tomorrow is going to be the last trading day of this week. At minus 2% right now. To be honest, I had better hopes for this week, but unfortunately, the market didn't play exactly as we wanted. I will think of it because I might actually look for some swing setups as well to try and make the process a bit faster, because right now it's normal for the day trades to not be as profitable because we had a very, very profitable period in April. And it is normal after a big winning streak for a choppy period like this to occur as well. So tomorrow I will still look only for day trades, but after tomorrow I might consider for the next week to look for some swing trades as well to try and make the process a bit faster. Okay, so yeah, that's about it for today, guys. I will see you all tomorrow. It's Friday, the final trading day of this week. I'm back on the charts, did my analysis, and now I wanted to present you guys what I'm currently looking at. But before that, as always, let's hop on the dashboard, refresh it to show you guys that I didn't take any other trades, any new trades. As we can see, we are at minus 2%, and the trades we already know. Okay, that's that. Now let's go back on the charts. Right now, I have my eyes on US 30, GJ, EU, GU, and gold. Starting off with US 30, okay? On the 1 hour time frame, we have these two liquidity levels. This valid low, this valid high. Valid high was taken. Price entered an H1 fair value gap as well. And now on the 5-minute, I'm waiting on an aggressive shift. Yes, that shift already occurred right here. However, the reason I didn't take it is because if we look closely, price already broke structure right here with this candlestick. That was a weak shift, and then with the next one, it tapped the VBG. So now what I'm waiting on US 30 is for this high to get liquidated, and then I might look for a new potential setup on it. Next up on GJ, on the 1 hour time frame, we have this valid low, this valid high that was formed recently, and this valid high, as we can see, was liquidated. After that, price entered this H1 plus H4 fair value gap. Let me show you the 4 hour time frame as well. This is the VBG. And now on the 5-minute, guys, if we look closely, we already have the shift. Okay, it's this one right here. We already have the BOS, so let me quickly note it as well. but it is a weak shift. Why is it a weak shift? Not because we don't have a candle closure, because we do have a candle closure right here below this low, but we have no fair value gap. Okay, so right now what I'm waiting for is a fair value gap. If I would have had a fair value gap right here, I would have entered this setup. Okay, so that's what I'm waiting for on GJ. On EU, on the 1 hour, the price section looks pretty similar to the one on GJ. As we can see, we have a valid low, a newly formed valid high. This newly formed valid high was liquidated and price entered this H1 plus, once again, H4 fair value gap. And now on the 5 minute, we are waiting for an aggressive shift. Okay, we can see that we have some liquidations on the 5 minute as well, which is a good thing in my opinion, because it's accumulating volume before the impulsive move. And next up on GU, GU is looking more bullish than EU. Okay, we can see that from the get-go. On the 1 hour GU, we can see that on the 1 hour things aren't really looking that great, because this high was liquidated hours ago, and I'm not a huge fan of that. However, we are in this H1 VBG as well, and only if I see a super aggressive and clear market structure shift, I will consider taking this GU setup. Okay, and then we have gold as well. Gold having a pretty small range here, this valid high, this valid low, took out the valid high, entered this H1 fair value gap and an H4 supply. Okay, this one right here. Now on the 5 minute, of course, waiting on that aggressive shift, but again, the range is pretty small, so I'm not sure if we'll have anything valid today on gold, but of course I will keep you guys updated anyways. Okay, and then on the bottom of the list we have Nasdaq, where the price is in between these two liquidity levels, and then USHEV is also in between these two liquidity levels. Okay, so on these two I'm not sure we're going to have anything interesting today, but of course it depends on the volume as well. And yeah, right now I'm gonna keep my eyes on the green pairs, on the pairs I have color coded with green. Maybe on EU, because the price action is looking pretty good on EU. Maybe here we could have something going on. Okay, but as I said, I will keep you guys updated, and why not, let me quickly show you the MetaTrader as well for you guys to see that the account is at -2%. Okay, let me click on the settings as well. There you go, this is my name. So yeah, this is it for now, guys. Let's see how the markets will move today. So I'm done trading for today. Another week has ended, and unfortunately it wasn't the outcome I expected, but to be honest, I prefer it to be this way for you guys, because like this, you guys will see how trading actually works. Because if I would have had a beautiful winning streak right at the start of this funded account, it would have seemed so easy, and you guys would have thought that it is like that every single day, every single week, every single month, when in fact it is not. Okay, in trading we can have good periods and we can have slower, choppy periods as well. That is where 99% of traders do mistakes, and because of that they fail to become consistently profitable. Okay, so I took no trades today. Let me quickly go over the dashboard again to confirm that. Let me click the funded accounts, 200k, and as we can see, come on, -2%, same exact percentage, same exact trades. As we can see, I took no setups today because I couldn't see any. Okay, if anything, I avoided a loss here on euro dollar. On euro dollar, we already know that we liquidated this high over here from the previous update. And as we can see, price just went higher. Over here, it gave a shift. It gave a weak shift right here, okay? And I decided to not enter it because the BOS was a weak one. I wanted to see a full body closure below this low. I didn't see that, I didn't take it, and this is how I was able to avoid a loser. And once again, guys, if you watched the last week's video as well, you've seen how many losing trades I was able to avoid. Okay, currently I'm on -2%. But if I wouldn't have been careful and if I wouldn't have stick to my plan, I could have been in a huge drawdown. I could have blown the account, to be honest. Okay, so that's what I mean when I say that most people aren't profitable because they cannot handle periods like this. Okay, when the markets move slower, move choppier, they fail to stick to their plan, and because of that, instead of, let's say, having a -2% drawdown that is totally normal and acceptable, they blow the entire account. Okay, so after that US 30, we can see that we had a beautiful H1 sweep over here. And on the 5-minute, it gave a BOS here, but it was a shy BOS because yes, we closed above it after this week over here, but there was no fair value gap. Okay, there was no fair value gap for me to enter, therefore we had no setup over here. On GJ, price just continued to move higher and higher. You guys already know the higher time frame confluences. It just went higher and it entered this H1 supply, and as we can see, it went over this H1 supply as well. On the 5-minute, we had this shift right here. It was a weak one, no VBG. Once again, if I would have FOMO'd in, this would have been a loss, but I didn't. And the price just continued to move higher without giving me anything. Okay, next up we have gold. So on gold, price liquidated the high, but it continued to move higher without giving me a thing. And on Nasdaq, price took out this low over here, gave a beautiful H1 sweep as we can see. And on the 5-minute, yes, we had a small shift right here, but again, a very weak and shy shift. And even if this candle would have closed above this high, it wouldn't have been valid because there was no fair value gap here. Okay, so yeah, essentially I took no trades today. I was able to avoid a couple losses by sticking to my plan. So at the end of the day, I would say it was a good one. Okay, and this week as well. This week, I think I had one loss and one break-even trade. The one on EU that ran 1.2 RR in profit. I would say it was a slow week, not a choppy week, because like I said, I only took the valid A+ setups. It could have been a lot worse if I wouldn't have stick to my plan. And I am sure that a good trading period will occur very, very soon, because same way as April was super profitable and now start of May is a bit slow. After this slow / choppy period, usually a good period occurs. Okay, so yeah, I think I will also end the video right here. So essentially we will have a part 3 of the funded account series. The reason I will continue to do this series is because, like I said, I'm kind of happy that I started this funded account with a slow period, because like this, hopefully many of you guys that will watch these videos will understand that trading isn't always about winning streaks, about passing challenges fast, securing big payouts, securing them fast and whatnot. Okay, so yeah, if you enjoy these series, drop a like, drop a comment as well. Let me know if you want me to continue to do more even after I will finish this series right here. And yeah, I will see you guys next week when hopefully the markets will move better and we'll be able to get this account out of drawdown.